Greetings, brethren. It is I, the Donkey, and welcome back to Donkey vs. Beer, where I try a different beer pretty much every day. And today, there are big expectations to fulfill. As we're trying Chinggis, which is a Mongolian lager. Now, I saw this in the store and I was very excited because currently a big sort of trend in the metal sphere, especially the sort of sphere that is interested in folk metal, is Mongolian folk metal, which, by the way, is awesome. If you've not heard The Who, you should Google them. And I'm not saying The Who as in WHO, but as in HU. Google them. They're pretty cool. As I need to cough to recover from that pitiful attempt at throat singing. So let's have a look at what Chinggis Lager looks and tastes like. Okay. Smell-wise, I'm not too impressed. It's kind of, how should I describe that? Okay, so the good thing is there's no sugar in it and no corn. I was getting sort of corn syrupy, but I don't know. We'll see what we got. Okay. It's kind of a pale beer. Oh. See, can we get it all in the half pint glass? Sort of. Yeah. Alright, we don't have too much of a head forming, but that's alright. We don't need too much of a crown. And I'll just give this a go right away so it doesn't spill over. Okay. This is what I would call a nondescript lager. So this isn't exactly a Pilsner. It's not exactly a pale lager. It's just it's going to be probably brewed with a low fermentation yeast, and it's kind of just it's a little generic. It does have some interesting notes in it. But unfortunately, one of those notes is a sort of a rinsing water taste. So it's a kind of like a you know, when you clean your dishes, like a dishwater taste. It's kind of in there. It stands out a little bit, and that certainly lowers the overall flavor profile. But other than that, it's a little bit more higher in sort of acidity, and I can tell if you were to chug this beer, and this is something that I have noticed with a lot of different Asian beers, not Japanese. Japanese are a bit more on the sort of more pilsnery side of things, but with a lot of sort of mainland Asian beers that I've tried, they do go in on that sort of, they have a lot of that acidity in them, which makes, when you drink them quickly, it gets that acrid buildup that becomes really annoying, and you're like, ugh, you know, and that sort of almost petroleum-like taste. And this has some of that, but it's nowhere near as obnoxious as some of the other Asian beers that I've had. So it's all right. It's definitely something that you can drink. You know what? As I have more of it, I actually think that my expectations were just a bit too high, probably, because I was just really excited about this being a Mongolian beer. You know, I was really hoping I'd find something brand new. And I think that's why I feel let down a little bit, because it's not something brand new. It's something that I've had multiple times. It's also very close to sort of Northern European lagers and lagers that you get from sort of Eastern Europe. It's really not too different from that. I've had a Russian beer actually that was also kind of similar to this, so it's not overly exciting in any way, but it's also not unpleasant at all. It's just, yeah, it is. I would say kind of average, but not in a bad way, if that makes sense. Whereas I find beers like Heineken to be unbelievably offensive with their mediocrity, this is more of a just, it's all right. It's just, I'm not sure that I could pick this out of a lineup. That's kind of what I'm saying. So if you gave me some more sort of average lager beers, Carlsberg, Tuborg, stuff like that, Russian variants, Tsingtao, things like that. I'm not sure I could pick out this specific one and say, aha, that's Chinggis. That's really not how I feel about this. It's more just a perfectly serviceable drinking beer, really. And I would definitely still classify this a drinking beer. It's not too overwhelming on that acidity. It is there definitely. So if you were to pour 3 of these in the same in the same mug and chug that whole thing, you'd probably get that really annoying acrid taste. But with just a half pint of this, it's actually okay, and it dissipates really quickly too. So it doesn't linger too much. It's not too annoying. You don't go, ugh. It's all right. But again, it's not anything particularly outstanding. And as such, I don't think I would give this more than. Let me have another go just to see if there's anything at all. No, I am gonna just give this a straight up 5 out of 10, because on the first sip I really thought that it would get that really acrid, annoying buildup, but drinking more of it, I'm realizing that's actually not really that bad. It's really not there that much. It's very mild, and it's not gonna sour you on it. You could actually just keep drinking these and be fine, but just in general, it's not something that I would seek out, and it's not something where I would say, oh, you have to try Chinggis. It's all right if you find yourself in a situation where where you have this or Heineken. Definitely go for this, but in every other case, I am not too overwhelmingly excited by this. It's okay, and I think a 5 out of 10 really reflects that, because it's the average, and that's really how I feel about this. It is just very, very average. It's all right. It's really drinkable. Yeah. If I was presented with a whole crate of this beer, and that's all there was, I wouldn't be too upset about it. I'd have a good evening, but it really doesn't go beyond that. Well, I'm also realizing just now that this brewery has only been going since 1997, which, I think that actually makes me appreciate it more, because that is pretty recent for a brewery, and for that they really have an okay beer on their hands. So yeah, not too bad for what is a pretty recent starting date for their brewery. But yeah, we're going with 5 out of 10, and it's all right. Perfectly all right. All right. I hope you enjoyed this, and I wish you a wonderful evening. And please come back on another day for another beer. Cheers.